to the 26th episode of Downtime Podcast featuring Jeremy and Alyssa. Alyssa, how are you today?
I'm doing okay right now. We just ended work and we actually have this is going to be a very special podcast.
Very, very special.
And just to sum it up, for this week, this is not a video game podcast, which is what we normally talk about. This is going to be one of our offcasts. And as a lot of you know, we are huge fans of Terrace House.
It's a show on Netflix, a Japanese reality TV show.
Yes.
Featuring 6 people, 3 guys and 3 girls living in a house together. And it's kind of a social experiment on their lives. And for us as the audience, it's very enjoyable to see.
Yeah, definitely. And Aloha State, that season ended. And part 4 was released in the United States.
Yep. The remaining episodes were shown. And that series ended.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to talk briefly about Terrace House and Aloha State. And joining us today on this special podcast, we have Eden Kai, Yusuke Aizawa on the podcast.
Woo!
Welcome.
Yay. Hey, guys.
Hey there.
Hey.
So just to, before we start the podcast, would you like us to call you Yusuke, Eden? How do you want us to address you?
Whatever you guys recommend. Like, I don't mind you guys calling me Eden or Yusuke. Yeah.
Awesome.
I got into Terrace House October last year. So
Oh, cool.
a friend of mine introduced me to the show, and she was like, "You should watch this show called Terrace House on Netflix." And I was like, "Terrace House? I've never heard of this show before." And I do consume a lot of media on Netflix, and I do occasionally like reality shows. And when I heard that this is like a different kind of version of like the real world is what it was pitched to me, I just knew I had to check it out. And so my friend was like, "You'll love it, don't worry. It's not boring at all." And so then when I finally had the chance to pull it up on Netflix, I watched it, and I couldn't put it down. Like, I had to keep watching it.
I know. And then
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem.
And then
Thanks.
in context of this, I actually heard of Terrace House for the first time from Jeremy. Yusuke, so you have background. Jeremy and I are actually co-workers, and that's how we started this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then
Thank
Jeremy told me that I had to watch this show, and at first I was like, "Oh, too many shows right now. Didn't want to start it." And then, but once I started Boys and Girls in the City, I think I finished it in like a month, and then and then Aloha State happened, and since Boys and Girls in the City that had already been completed, I just finished the entire series.
Yeah.
But then Aloha State, since it was at the time being released in parts, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to wait for it."
It was antagonizing.
I know, but now we're here, and Aloha State is officially done. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
and just for you, Yusuke, how exactly did you hear about Terrace House, and what got you interested in joining it?
Well, like Terrace House always been a show that I heard of, but I never actually watched it when I was like little. I mean, like in middle school and stuff. All the popular boys and girls are like all talking about Terrace House, like how the show is like super, they have like a really awesome life, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, Terrace House. Like I heard like in a quarter of the classroom and stuff.
Okay.
But that was like before I actually moved to Hawaii, and I never actually thought of being on the show. So it's pretty amazing. I mean, actually started watching the show after I knew that I was on the show.
Oh, okay, got it.
Gotcha.
It was quite interesting to see the past series, like the Tokyo series and the OG series, like how people were like having a conversation and like interacting with each other, and it's all over like older than me, so it's you could like learn a lot from it. You could see how their lifestyle is and learn a lot. It was a great experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, what exactly was the audition process like for Terrace House?
For that, I can't really like say because it kind of depends on it.
Got it.
Right,
So like some people took the audition, but like some people send a letter to the official site and stuff, blah blah blah. So I think it kind of depends on the cast.
Okay.
I'd say.
When you applied, did you know it was going to be in Hawaii, or?
I knew that it was gonna be in Hawaii because I took the audition in Hawaii, basically. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
but I didn't know anything about Terrace House. I didn't know it was like Terrace House until everything was done basically. So
that totally makes sense. And you just mentioned that you grew up in Japan, is from what we can tell. And where in Japan did you grow up?
So I was born and raised in Tokyo, Japan, and I moved to Hawaii after I finished my 7th grade in middle school.
Okay, got it.
Gotcha. Where in Tokyo specifically?
Do you know Hachioji?
Yeah, I do. I know.
It's like
Takao.
more like a you do.
Takao-san, yeah.
It's like it's like the west side of is it west side? I don't know. It's like a countryside of Tokyo.
Yeah, it's west side for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, you could take the train, go to Shinjuku, 40 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, I've totally been there. I've totally been there.
Wow, I have no idea where this is. Where is you said Shinjuku, like how far away is it?
It's like a 50 minute train ride west.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. When you moved to Hawaii, what would you say were, I guess, first off, the biggest differences between living in Japan versus living in Hawaii?
Well, I think everything was different, basically. I never thought that I'm going to use English seriously after 7th grade, moving to Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
The culture is different. There is different, we never had a beach around us in Japan.
Yeah.
Here it's going to the beach, high school, after school, some people were wearing sandals and stuff.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
It's a whole lot of structure is different than Japan. So I don't know where to start. It's the whole thing is different.
But I'm sure. Oh yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Hawaii is just an awesome place in general. I love the culture and I love the food and I love the people. Would you say that you kind of felt more welcomed when you came to Hawaii?
Yeah. A lot of people were super kind, and I believe it or not, I didn't know much stuff about it. In Asia education, we do learn English, but it's kind of different. It's too polite. Hello, my name is blah blah blah, nice to meet you. Yeah. So after I went to Hawaii, they had those slang words, and they also have what is it, a pigeon? It's like an accent.
Oh yeah, speaking pigeon. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty bad with those stuff. So no offense, but
it's okay.
Hey bro, what's up? How's it? Those kind of stuff. And I didn't understand a single word that they were talking about when I moved to Hawaii. But I learned a lot. Write down if I didn't know any vocabs.
Oh yeah, no, pigeon itself is like another language in it. It's kind of hard to understand.
Totally agree. Yeah.
You were talking about how when you learned English in Japan, it was definitely more business-like, it was more polite, and then when you came to Hawaii, that's when you learned more about the conversational English, and it was very casual. How you became fluent in English, was it mostly through school, or was it through talking through new friends you made? How exactly did you make that shift, as well as a two-parter? How were you able to still continue keeping up with speaking in Japanese?
For one of the huge reasons is that my dad is from the mainland.
Okay.
He's originally from Portland, Oregon, and
okay.
So my mom and my dad met in Japan, and that's how I was born. So even though I kind of respond Japanese to my dad, but he talked to me in English since I was little.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
when I was watching movies and stuff, I always just put subtitles, which means the voice is original in English. I actually listen more to pop songs than J-pop.
Oh, okay.
So Michael Jackson was my huge influence.
Oh.
So I think my ears were a little more used to than others in Japan, I think.
Okay.
But I wasn't really quite serious about using English. I never thought I'm gonna go outside of Japan. In Japan, even though you try speak English, or even though you try communicate with some people in English, at the end you're gonna use Japanese, right? Because that's their basic language. But in Hawaii, it's English. So no matter what, you got to use English to communicate with others.
Yep.
So because of I constantly use English, because of there's no options. You got to use English to live. I think that's how I kind of got used to it. taking it seriously, and like if there's like any word or sentence that I never heard of, I just search and write it down.
Yeah.
Use it more until like I remember, until I get it. Yeah, I think that's how I try to improve myself and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just gotta say you're very, very fluent in English, and I honestly thought you were from Hawaii when you first came on the show.
Thank you. That's the greatest compliment ever.
Oh yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah, no, your English is really, really good, and in all your vlogs that I've been watching, like you have a really good grasp of the English language, and it's hard to believe that you're actually from Japan.
It's a tongue twister for me. It's like I kind of get stuck in each sentence when I like say my lines and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I totally understand it. I'm actually trying to learn Japanese right now, and I'm finding that difficult.
Really? Oh. No, but English is really like hard as a language because like you gotta, if you say the word that you thought it was like the right meaning, but like it could be like a totally different meaning. Like people kind of take it like differently sometimes. So
yeah, no, I could totally see that.
But it's really interesting to learn another language. And actually, my mom is originally from Inner Mongolia, which is a part of China.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So
cool.
I've been learning Chinese a bit during high school and stuff, but it's
that's really cool.
pretty tough.
Oh, wow. Trilingual.
Yep.
I know.
I'm trying to, but Avian is better with that.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure.
It was really interesting for you to say that a lot of how you learned about English was through pop culture, such as Michael Jackson and watching a lot of movies. Just curious, what's your favorite Michael Jackson song?
Oh, man. Okay.
It's a hard question.
Well, actually, I love songs from Jackson 5 too.
Okay,
So,
very
Gotcha.
cool.
I actually started singing when I was like little. So
Aw.
before guitar, singing was my first music stuff that I did. So I remember like singing Ben, I Want You Back. Those kind of like songs got to be there. Yeah, he created like a lot of masterpiece, I'd say.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
be
definitely,
there.
definitely the king of pop.
Yeah, just can't stop talking about it. So maybe we just move on to the next question. But yeah, it's lots of my favorite from him.
Very cool. And so you said that you first learned how to sing before you started playing guitar and ukulele. So when did you start playing the ukulele and guitar, and how exactly did that interest start?
Well, for guitar, I was in a middle school marching band
Okay.
when I was like 13,
Oh, wow.
and I think I was like 14. I wanted to find an instrument or like like a hobby, do along with vocals, like singing and stuff. That was like before my voice actually changed. And I just like casually search on YouTube and watch like bunch of guitar fingerstyle videos and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, like I never thought guitar could sound like this or like be played like that. So that's how I started. Like I just learned the basics for a year. After I moved to Hawaii, I just taught myself.
Okay.
Start making my original songs. And for ukulele, I started since high school in Hawaii. 3-4 years for ukulele, 5 or 4 years for guitar.
Oh.
That's very cool.
He seems like much longer.
Thank you.
I know.
Like your skill in the show is impeccable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Out of curiosity, where did the name Eden Kai come from?
Well, actually, I don't mind it. My real name is Ethan. So Ethan Yusuke Aizawa is my like real name. So Eden Kai is my stage name. Well, one of the reasons is that people kind of having a hard time like pronouncing my like name. Like, what was your name? You what is it? And so I wanted to like create something that's like simple, memorable, and like that's kind of sounds similar to my real name too. So when I share my songs and like music, like I kind of get a lot of like feedbacks from people that they got more positive or like got more happier to like make people in a positive vibe is kind of like, I kind of thought it's like the same thing, like, you know, bringing back to paradise, like the Garden of Eden. So it's kind of like, and for Kai, I know it's a really common name in Hawaii, like means like ocean and stuff, but I had this name since I was around 10 or 11.
Oh, okay.
So like from my mom's hometown, I think in China they have like such a thing called like 7 stars or something, and I think the biggest star name was called Kui in a Chinese pronunciation, but turned that into Japanese pronunciation. I think it's called Kai.
Oh.
So it's not technically from ocean, but yeah, Eden Kai. That's how I kind of made my stage name. Eden Kai. Yep.
No, it really works and it sticks. It's very memorable.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, that's very cool. So when you were starting off with music, because we saw your dad briefly on the show, how much did your dad have an influence on your music career?
Wow. First of all, like my parents love music.
Okay.
You know, my dad used to be a performer and like all this stuff, and he used to like play all these kind of like different instruments and stuff. So my dad played the acoustic guitar, piano, like koto and like shakuhachi, like all these like Japanese instruments since I was like in my mom's womb.
Gotcha.
Very cool.
So yeah, after I was born, you know, I think he played like a lot of like pop or classical music and stuff. So in an environment of music, I think that's why I think.
Oh yeah, no, it had a huge influence on you growing up, and it really shows. And you
enjoyed it a lot.
Oh yeah, no, I'm really happy to see that you're really enthusiastic about it, and especially on the show, the other members will just be like, "Oh, like Yusuke, come out and play for us, and I was like, I hope they weren't abusing you too much. Like,
just out of curiosity, how many times would they ask you to play in the house? Because you know,
a lot. Like that's like the only clip from the show. That's like the only like 10% or like minimum.
Oh wow.
Sure, yeah.
Wow.
It's like whenever like I get back from school, you know, like they're like hanging out around like the pool, and they're like, "Oh, Yusuke, welcome back. Play something." I'm like, seriously, I gotta do my homework, Eric. But yeah.
Oh my god.
But I mean, I was happy, you know, like
No, but
it kind of became like one of my everyday routine, you know, like play something. And,
I know.
You know, like kind of inspire me to make more new songs and stuff. So
yeah, yeah.
It was cool. It was cool for me.
Yeah.
Speaking about your experience on Terrace House, what was it like knowing that you were being filmed all the time?
Well, the fact that I knew that it's going to be on TV, whatever you say, again, living with like 5 other strangers that's older than me, kind of like a pressure for me at the first point, like the first couple weeks. It was really nervous about how this is gonna, you know, like come out. But I mean, at the end, I didn't really like care about anything. I just like, you know, be myself.
Okay.
And, yeah. At the end, I really enjoyed the moment with everyone, and yeah, I kind of missed them a lot.
So you still keep in touch with a lot of the members from Terrace House?
Yes, actually, well, a lot of them are like in Japan right now, but I'm actually like starting like a YouTube. Like I'm gonna take YouTube as like my serious part of my stuff. I actually took a collaboration video with Avian.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and you know, as soon as I'm like, you know, ready for it, I'll post it. So everyone has like, you know, their job and like model, constructor, like everyone has like their passion, and I know that the fact that after the show is done, it's kind of hard to like communicate sometimes because like everyone is busy, but I really wish everyone the best, you know, and if there's any time, then I want to hang out if possible. But
definitely.
I mean, it's like any other friend. Like you can't hang out with them all the time, but when you do see them, I'm sure it's a great time.
I wish. I hope.
Speaking about your vlogs, I really, really, really like your vlog channel, and I've been watching like your music videos, and I've been watching like your trip to LA, and I have to say, no problem. It's really entertaining, and I like the way you style your videos. I like the way that you edit them and the music that you add to them. Do you edit them yourself?
Actually, my dad is helping me a lot.
No,
okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know how he did all these kind of like effects and stuff, but this is like what I kind of like need to learn from now on. If there's like a space time, I want to like edit myself. It's also one of my passions too. Like acting, editing videos is like one of my passions since I was like little. Yeah, I used to be like a child actor when I was like 6 or something.
Oh, no
way! In Japan, but
Okay.
I've stopped after that. But like now, I kind of like wanted to, go back to those kind of stuff because I mean it's fun. It's my passion, so why not?
No, with Terrace House as a jumping point, you can really go anywhere. The sky's the limit.
That's real. That was a really cool fact to find out.
Yeah. Were you in anything big when you were a child actor?
I was like doing those like based on like true story. Like I don't know if you guys like watch any variety shows, but
yeah.
like Unbelievable. Like, have you?
I do know that. I do know that show. Yeah.
Yeah, like Gilton News.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I used to be like one of those like kids like that's on a TV drama, like doing a show.
Okay.
Oh, like
variety show. Like this is what happened when I was like little, and I used to like act those kind of like kids.
That's pretty cool, actually.
It's pretty funny to like see myself.
Yeah.
With you getting into your YouTube channel, and we remember briefly on the show you were talking about how you wanted to move to Los Angeles, and just out of curiosity, is that still part of the plan? Are there like new factors coming in with what you think is going to happen in the future?
So I actually came back from LA last week,
mm-hmm.
and it was my second time going on a trip to LA, and
very cool.
Overall, I think it's an awesome place. It's huge, lots of celebrity-looking people walking down the street. But I don't know their names, so I can't really say, hey, I think I saw you on TV. Might get your autograph or something. I can't say that, but like it's really fun to like going out and visiting places every day, and it's still one of my dream places to actually live. But I know it's not cheap. It's not really like easy to move out there, but it could be LA, it could be New York. Haven't been in New York, by the way, but any places, any like major cities that I'm able to get the opportunity, and I think that's gonna be my place.
No, that's awesome. Kind of to add on to that, when you were walking around LA, were you recognized at all on the street?
Sometimes, but like I'm kind of like those what is it? I'm normal. Like for example, like I had this time that like when Naomi and like Lauren was like walking down the Waikiki, everyone was like, oh my god, is that the two from like Terrace House?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all these people didn't recognize me. I was like walking the side.
Oh no.
Side. Yeah, so I'm totally fine for that, but
yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's me. So
got it.
But,
yeah. No. Got it. Gotcha. I mean, if I was in the situation with like if I was with them and they were recognized instantly, I would join in too. Be like, oh yeah, is it them?
But I mean, yeah. So when people recognize me, I really get happy. Like, really appreciate it. Like,
definitely. We know that this summer. Also, that you went back to Japan and you performed for the Fuji Rock Festival, and just what was that experience like?
It was my first Fuji Rock, and it was my first time to be in Fuji Rock for sure. Saw lots of famous artists around there, like Gorillas and stuff. So it was pretty insane. They have like different sections of stages, and besides my performance, it's such a large place, and I just walk around. It was like raining, and it was like pretty muddy, and like my shoes are like kind of already like pretty bad at the time, but I just kept rocking, and like like just watching their performances were something that I can't get it from like the regular life. So
yeah,
it was great. It was great. Like hopefully someday soon, if I get a chance to perform at the Frizzy Rock again, definitely really excited for it.
I think it'll happen soon. You're a multi-talented actor, singer, writer. I mean, they have to have you back.
I hope.
What about when you went back to Japan this year? Did people recognize you from Aloha State?
Some people did, but in Japan, some people do like more often takes like random pictures than actually saying hi to me. So
got it.
I don't know. It's kind of something that I kind of like get used to or something. But I mean, I don't mind.
Got it.
Yep.
When you, in general, in your entire life, who is the most famous person that you met in both like a Japanese celebrity and an American celebrity? And did anyone recognize you like a celebrity?
Actually, so I made a video about it on YouTube too. But like, do you guys know I'm Shane from BuzzFeed?
Yeah. I saw your vlog.
Yeah, so I was like looking around like their offices and stuff just for like experience and stuff. Because the person I knew those kind of people too. So, I was like walking down and like found us, and he was just like, oh, what's up, guys? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, oh, do you guys watch? Do you watch Terrace House? And he was like, oh yeah, I've been watching the Netflix Tokyo series and stuff, and I'm gonna like start the Hawaii series. And they told about me, and like, he was like, oh my god, that's amazing. So like I was a fan of him, but he was also a fan of the Terrace House. So
got it.
Yeah.
It made stuff easier.
It's a really good like conversation starter.
And just to ask a few more questions about your experience with Aloha State. How and of course, like the general question, how did Aloha State change your life?
It changed my life like 180 degrees.
Oh wow.
If I wasn't on the show, of course this podcast would never happen.
That's true.
I probably would not go LA that soon. I wouldn't able to meet all these kind of like awesome people. I never like able to sign a music contract with Japan.
Wow. Yeah.
I just used to be just a regular high school senior guy. So I was kind of blown away when that happened. When I was on the show, I thought it was only for Japanese people. I thought it was like only for like I thought it was like only a Japanese TV show. And after like a couple months or something, I knew that it's actually going to be on Netflix.
Oh no.
So I was like, what? And yeah, I was super happy when I got my first English comment on my post. I was like, oh my god, yay. Foreigners are watching. It's been amazing.
Definitely not something that everyone experiences in their life, and it's really unique.
For sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure that like everyone, even though they didn't meet each other in a season, so let's say someone from a Boys and Girls in the City will also know or like hang out with someone from Aloha State. I think that's kind of cool that there's this common like relationship you guys have, because like you were on Terrace House at one point, so it's kind of like a talking point between different members of the different seasons.
Yeah, I think that's like some point that I kind of found out that's really cool. Because I think they all been through a lot, but like they consider it as a team. I think so. So that's like one of the stuff that I find out really cool. I haven't met like the early OG cast much, except for Seina-san and Daiki-san.
Right.
Yeah, like for example, like right after like Naomi left the house, she went back to Tokyo, and like all the pictures I see is like her hanging out with like all these Tokyo cast. Yeah, and I was like, oh god, I want to meet them so bad.
But you did meet some of the guys in Tokyo, right?
I did, like after like a year later or something.
Right.
But yeah, it's they're like most of them are like models and stuff and super high status. So I was like, oh wow, I never get to meet these people before. It was cool. It was fun.
Yeah, it's awesome that they make time to meet you too, because they know that you experienced the same thing. That's so cool. So to build off of that, what is would you say the biggest lesson that you've learned from Aloha State, or just being on the show?
In one sentence, I would just say that life's too short for regrets. It's that it's a matter of being more confident, be yourself, I think. Rather than regretting that you didn't do something, then you should just do it and go for it, right? So
yeah,
got it.
I think that's the biggest thing that I learned from this show.
Well put. Very well put.
Definitely.
Yep.
From Terrace House, we're curious. Were there any scenes that you wished made it on air? Like, what's the one thing that you wish that they showed on Terrace House that they did not?
I think, to be honest, my fun parts, I think, because, well, like, what's on air is totally, like, the truth. It's a part of myself. But, overall, I think it's, like, really quiet, like, I kind of give, like, people those impressions and stuff. But I would just want to, like, let people know that I do have those fun parts, like, like, being silly, like, making jokes and stuff. And I think that's like cool for them, but like kind of take it too far sometimes. So maybe that's why, like maybe they're being like, oh, this is not really Yusuke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe, but we just do whatever you want, and it comes to their decision whatever they want to use. So
yeah, definitely, especially
that's it. Yeah,
especially since per episode there's only 30 minutes to show for an entire week. There's just so much content.
I know,
that's cut out.
It's pretty funny though. Yeah.
I wish we saw you play more. I mean, I would have loved to see that.
The other 90% though.
Yeah, because there's some episodes when I watch and I'm like, where's Yusuke? Like, he's not in the show. Like, he's I know he's like busy, but I want to see more of him.
To close in on this podcast, we would just want to ask you some fun questions about Hawaii.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So one of mine is, what's the best plate lunch place in Hawaii?
So there's a lot of chain places like Jack in the Box, McDonald's. That's like everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So, oh wait, do you guys thought I'm gonna say like Catfish or something?
Oh no, I thought you were gonna say Rainbow Drive-In.
So actually, well, for Catfish, it was actually pretty good. Like it was my first time actually eating catfish, but that was pretty good too. But I'd say Zippy's.
Okay, yeah.
Because like there's like only in Hawaii, I think.
Zippy's is pretty great. It really is.
I think it's 2017. It's been like 11 years since I've been to Hawaii, and I don't even remember a lot of my experiences there anymore.
You gotta go visit Eric at his pop-up shop.
Oh my! What is it? Punch Bowl?
Punch Bowl, yeah.
And then
actually, he has a truck right now. Like,
he has a truck?
Did he move or?
Yeah, he shut the store recently.
Oh.
Oh, and so he has a truck now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
I think so, yeah.
Gotta go find the truck.
You gotta find the truck.
Buy a t-shirt, some coffee.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, no,
I know.
That's awesome.
And then my question for you is, I guess, what's your favorite hangout spot in Hawaii? And you can answer that however you want, whether it's like the beach or the lounge or hiking, however you want.
Well, Waikiki and Alamon is like one of like the tourist spot, but I think it's pretty cool. With views and stuff. I don't know if you guys heard of this, but do you guys know China Walls?
Yes.
I don't know China Walls.
It's in Hawaii Kai, and the thing is it's really close to my high school.
Oh.
Okay.
They graduated, so I often go there with my friends because the views are amazing. During sunset, it's one of the best views I ever saw in Hawaii. So if you guys have ever time to visit there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, you can't really beat a Hawaiian sunset. Let me just say that.
Yeah, and I think that's my favorite spot. Sandy's are pretty cool too. But I can't really surf, so
It's okay.
I'm the one just like standing, looking at the views.
Yeah, us too, actually.
But yeah.
Do you like malasadas? Do you like Leonard specifically?
Malasadas, yeah. Loco Moco.
Yeah.
Poke.
Oh, nice.
Pokeball. Traditional Hawaiian foods and stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty good.
I have to ask, unfortunately, but what is malasada? Or
you can go ahead, Yusuke.
It's God, I'm really like God, I'm explaining foods and stuff, but it's like what is it? A mixture with like what's that, macaroni or like the vegetable? It's really creamy, I'd say. It's good. Just try it out.
okay,
it's a Portuguese donut.
Yeah, that's
covered in powdered sugar.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Awesome.
Like you said, Lisa, you haven't been to Hawaii in so long, and I went to Hawaii in April, and that was the first time I met Eric. Like that just like the only time I met Eric.
Oh, cool.
And I went to the pop-up
That's
shop,
cool.
and it was like kind of late at night. It was like around like not really late, 7 was like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to drink coffee, and he was there, and I wasn't expecting him to be there. But then I walked up to him, and I was like, "Hi," and he's like, "Hi, what's your name?" And he was like shaking my hand, and I got kind of scared. I was like, I'm Jeremy." I had like a fanboy moment at the same time. I was like, what do I say? Like I completely forgot what I was gonna say to him, and I was about to just be like, "Hi, I want a T-shirt." That's what I was about to say, but I'm so glad I got out of that stance, and I like shook myself, and I was like, "Yes, okay, hi, I'm Jeremy. It's nice to meet you. I love the show," and I actually saw your CDs on his stand. You just get up,
Yeah.
and
Thanks.
I was so starstruck at the time that I didn't know what to say, and I just wanted a T-shirt and I wanted to leave.
Oh.
But at the end,
time for sure.
yeah, he's a super cool guy and a super nice guy, and I just wanted to share that moment with you because like I'm sure when you see him, Yusuke, you don't feel the same. You probably don't feel the same way I do.
Well, like I lived with him like a couple months and a half, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's really cool. Like, he's no worries. Like, he's generally really kind to people. So.
Oh yeah, no, I mean.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh yeah. I'm just out of curiosity. So I'm just curious because you speak Japanese and English. How often did the house speak English? Because I realized that Lauren spoke English, Avian spoke English, and then Eric spoke English. So did you all kind of have moments where like, we're just gonna talk this out in English and not Japanese?
Actually, sometimes, cause like for example, like Avian and Eric, like they're both like fluent in both, but sometimes like Lauren kind of had a hard time speaking in Japanese. But like she wanted to like speak Japanese because she could like learn from it. She wanted to like get better on Japanese, so I tried to like speak Japanese as much as possible to her, or like we all tried to did.
Got it.
But sometimes we kind of had like a moment that she kind of got confused, so we just rather just like spoke in English to explain what's going on. But for most of the time, it was in Japanese, I'd say, because like for Yuya and Naomi, it's easier to communicate in Japanese. So, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's better.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is a little embarrassing, and I'm. It's oh man, how do I put this? So you watched the Terrace House parody, right?
Yep.
Golden State. So I'm actually the one that directed and created that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Like, thank you. Thanks for creating such an awesome. I don't know if it's a parody. It could be a series either.
I saw your Instagram story on it, and I was actually like shocked.
I'm probably the only cast who actually like watches all these kind of stuff. Because You know the commentary, like the Yama-chan with the glasses.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he has like his own like video on Netflix Japan like channel on YouTube.
Okay.
It's where that he just like every episode like he just talk whatever the heck he wants.
Yeah.
Because like he couldn't tell like
So it's more unfiltered.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like his own show and stuff.
Okay.
So like none of other like the cast watches like his videos and stuff. Like I used to be like the ones like who just like watches it every time. Post something on. It's like so I really like enjoy those contents and
Gotcha.
love it. Thanks for posting such an awesome stuff.
Oh yeah, no problem. Like it's just when you commented on it, like I showed all the other cast members and they all freaked out and they were like super excited that they watched it. And yeah, honestly, like thank you for checking it out. Like it's the way it came about was like my friend and I, we just we were just sitting down for lunch one day and this is after he introduced me to Terrace House and I told him like that'd be funny if we made it with our friends and he's like yeah that would be funny and then cut to us like actually making it.
And the editing skills are like super on point.
Oh, thank you very much. I edited all myself actually. So
oh, that's cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean I like overall it seems like you enjoy it, so I'm really thankful for that too, because I tried to make it as close to the actual series as possible. The camera angles, the lighting, the color, and just the way that people speak.
I did.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, if you approve of it, I think that's pretty solid then.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that is so awesome.
Yeah, that is super awesome. I just need one member to have to approve it, and that's it. That's it for me. Super cool. No, awesome. Yeah. Thanks again for watching it.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. It's been great having you on, Yusuke. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, definitely. And then we look forward to seeing the new vlog or the new video with Avian, as well as like your upcoming music, and we just
for sure
we're super excited to see what you have in store.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alyssa, favorite Eden Kai song?
My favorite Eden Kai song, 5 p.m.
5 p.m.
Yes.
That's a great one.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that.
How about you?
She Saw Me Dance.
All from the new one. All from the new EP.
Yeah. That new EP is fire.
Appreciate it. I'm blessed. Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely. And do you have anything to say to our viewers before we close this out?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast, and again, thank you, thank you too for having me. Like it's amazing. I never thought that I'm gonna like get an opportunity like this, and I hope you all have a great day.
Yes.
Mahalo.
Woo!
All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. This has been the 26th episode of Downtime Podcast, a very special episode. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.
Have a good night. Although I think it's only afternoon in Hawaii right now.
It's 3 p.m. in Hawaii. Sorry about that.
And Yusuke,
good night, everyone.
Oh yeah, good night. And Yusuke, just before we close out, I just want to say something to you.
Yep.
今日はありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。